hexaploid it is. It is also called as amphidiploid. And we all know that it's called as king of tropical fruits. So which is the queen of tropical fruits? That is mangosteen. Okay, please remember and list all these things in one place. As I told in the earlier class, please list it. And I forgot to mention, please take down these points. I think the sharing of notes will be delayed by some time. So if you are being attentive, not only is the thing, but you should also try to note down the points. However, I will share the notes, but not now. But you should be attentive, no? So hence you should be noting down all these things. So queen is mangosteen, king of tropical fruits is mango, and you have to list all the kings and queens, not only regarding to fruit science, king of pulses, cereals, and all. What all there? What will be there in agriculture? No? So you should list according to that. Moving forward, it's cultivated commercially since 4,000 years. That is based on available literature, and in the Lak Bagh, that is when the Mughal period, Akbar established a garden called as Lak Bagh. That is, as name indicates, there are in that Lak Bagh there were 1 lakh mango trees. It was established near Darbhanga of Bihar, and coming to the classification of mango, who given the classification of mango? It was done by Kostenman and Bompard. So similarly, who have classified citrus fruits? So Swingle and Tanaka, they are classified as citrus fruits. So in every crop, that is in whichever the crops, the works have been done in the pioneer things, you have to be listed. It have to be listed, and I will deal it in detail when I take up the citrus. And here are the important years. That is, these are very much important. And why I have put the star mark here is because they were repeatedly asked when we were writing the UG Jrf exam. No, there were also match the following. I think it is not there now. The match the following was there. So in that 5 options will be there, each for 0.25 marks. And no, I think 4 options are there. Okay, let it be. And it have to be matched with the correct timeline. So here in the 1891. The mango malformation was a disorder. It is a disorder. It was first reported by Watson Burris in Bihar, and in 1909, that black tick disorder was reported by Woodhouse, and the hybridization work was first started by Brunson Prayag. That is in the 1911, and where it was started in the Pune, and the spongy tissue disorder, it was reported by Chima and Dhani, and the caging technique, it was first hybridization work in India. This was started by Dr. R.N. Singh and Sharma in IRI, and in 1975, the bottom heat technique, it is a propagation related operation. It was started by Reddy and Majumdar in 1975. This is also in IRI. So please make a list of all these things, and you have to be, since it comes years, that is numericals, you have to be repeatedly recalling these things. So again, I will be telling you, this is a very much important thing, because these are all the asked things in Jrf, SRF both and also in the NET exam, it was asked. And moving forward, coming to distribution, from Indo-Burma region, it has spread to the other parts of the world through Chinese travelers in 7th century AD, and also to the Western world. When the sea route was discovered, it was then transferred to the Western world and to the eastern coast of Africa during 1331, and to the Persian Gulf in 16th century, Brazil and South America in 1700 by Portuguese, and also to the Barbados and West Indies, that is in the American continent, in 1734, and also to Florida, that is in 1833. So hence, due to all these things, it went to many part of the globe through many travelers. It is also called as ambassador fruit. So like this, the synonyms have come. And it is also, we all know that it is also the national fruit of India. Only India? No, it is also the national fruit of Pakistan and Philippines. And it is also known as bathroom fruit. Ambassador fruit, as I told. And the fruit type is drupe. Edible part is mesocarp. So drupe, I think you have, excuse me. Yeah. So edible part is drupe and mesocarp. If you recollect the earlier class that I dealt with fruit morphology and all, you should be aware of what is drupe and what is mesocarp. And here is the picture. So drupe is a stone, that is the fruit which is truly originated from the ovary, and these are the which have clear-cut demarcation of 3 layers. So this is exocarp, mesocarp, and also endocarp. So as I told in the earlier class, and also now with reference to the picture, you should be clearly thorough with all those things. What is group, what is poem, and all. So hence the basics are very essential. So if you know, if you are really thorough in the earlier class what I dealt with, then for every coming for every subsequent crops, you need not to be confused with what is drop and what is poem and all these things. So you have to be very much well versed in the basics also. So moving forward to important species. So I think there is some, yeah, the family Anacardiaceae, it has uh, so 75 genera and almost I am not something anyway. Yeah, and also genus Mangifera is consists of 69 plus species, and also 50 among them the 15 species are edible. That means which are edible fruit bearing, but only one species, that is Mangifera indica. Among 15 edible species, only Mangifera indica is the only cultivated species. And all those things and all the related species, they are the source of one or the other characters. For example, wild mango is called as Mangifera sylvatica, and horse mango Mangifera foetida, and water mango, and which is also resistant to anthracnose, that is Mangifera laurina, and the species acclimatized to dry climate, that is Colonaria, Colina, Timorensis, and Zelanica. And the species that contribute for white pulp or and sweet and fragrant aroma is Mangifera cassia. And the ones which tolerant to waterlogged conditions that can be used as a rootstock is Decandra, Jejeba, and Incarpoids. And the fruit, this is very much important. That is one of the frequently asked question. The fruit which is peeled like a banana is Mangifera pajang. The stone-free species is Mangifera similis. Completely free from fiber, that is Mangifera magnifica. Off-season bearing twice in a year, purple, all these things, please note down all these things. And whatever I indicated in the star marks are, these are the ones which are repeatedly asked. Whenever I put a star mark, means they are the ones which are repeatedly asked in the previous exams. So even when I wrote a NET exam, Mangifera Pajang was asked, Mangifera Kasturi, and also Mangifera similis. These are the ones which has asked in the previous two exams in the same year. So please be well versed with all the species, and yeah, at least not for 69 species, or just at least for some of the other species that which are repeatedly asked, you should be very much thorough with these things. So highest TSS Mangifera odorata, resistant to leafhoppers, Altisima, and resistant to anthracnose Mangifera minor, and also good pollinizer variety, that is Mangifera pentandra. So these are the fruits from these things, from these species, that is Laurina, Foetida, Kasturi, Cassia, Zelanica, and also Pajang. As I said, it can be easily peeled like a banana. So you can see the clear demarcation of what the peel and flesh. So it can be easily peeled, and the fruit also appears to be like sapota. So moving forward to inflorescence. So inflorescence is a terminal panicle. Okay. So here is that terminal panicle. You can see the picture. This is one of the in the earlier stage, and it is a developed panicle. And the flower type is andromonaceae. Andromonaceae means male and hermaphrodite. Monoecious means present in the same plant. So male and hermaphrodite flower present in the same plant. And dioecious means both male and female present on the different parts of in the different plants. That is, example is papaya. So male flower is different. So I mean male flower is present in one plant, and the female flower is present in exclusively in the other plant. So I'll be dealing them further. So andromonaceae male and hermaphrodite flowers. So here the number of flowers per panicle, that is per inflorescence panicle, that is about 1000 to 6000 flowers will be there. And number of panicles per tree is almost of 10,000 inflorescence, that is panicles per tree. And the type of pollination is cross, and the pollinizing agent is honeybee, that is Musca domestica. Sorry, not honeybee, it's housefly. Common housefly that we will be seeing now, that is Musca domestica. And among the varieties, Dashari has the highest fruit retention capacity, and the Langra variety has the highest number of perfect flowers, that is highest number of flowers, and highest sorry I think not Langra, it's yeah 69.8, But in the literature, recently there is a report of a variety named Sai Sugarta, that it has 74.5. But as of now, in the exams, this is not an option. This is not being the option. But even in the coming in the exams that are going on, only the Langra option will be there. So who knows? I think if there is a option of Sai Sugarta, you can opt that, or if there is a Langra, it's 69.8. And the least ones are, and the least number of perfect flowers are present in Roman, that is 0.74%. Only 1.1% of the perfect flowers set the fruit to maturity. So here you should analyze these things. Only 0.1% of the perfect flower. 0.1% means how much? 1% means 1 in the 100 flowers, and zero point 0.1 is 1 in the 1000. So 1 in the 1000 means here what is the number of flowers per inflorescence? That is 1000 to 6000. So even the 0.1% of the flower set fruit means it is almost 1 to 6000. I mean 1000 to 6000 means 1 to 6 fruits per inflorescence. So you can imagine 1 to 6 fruits per inflorescence, and when the number of panicles in the tree are 10,000, so almost 60,000 fruits per tree. And what would be the average fruit weight? That is almost 200 to 250 gram. So 200 to 250 into 60,000. So you can easily, you should be in a position to analyze all these things. When you go to any interviews and all, there will be asking the questions like this. So in this way, you have to read. Not only just memorizing the things, but also applying them analytically is also very much important. So here, please be aware of these things: number of flowers per panicle, number of panicles per tree, and highest number of perfect flowers. So what is perfect flower? In the last class, I clearly said what is the difference between perfect and complete flower. Perfect flower is just a bisexual flower, and complete flower is a presence of all four essential whorls, that is calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. So don't worry about that. But here's perfect flower means just bisexual flower. So highest one present in Langra, and also the lowest number of perfect flowers are present in Romani. And only 0.1% of the fruit set maturity. Even though 0.1% of the fruit set matured and become developed into fruit, it is known as bumper crop. I forgot to mention this point in the PowerPoint. So what is bumper crop in the mango implies, if only one fruit in the panicle set into fruit and retained throughout the maturity, it is known as bumper crop. That means it is a bumper harvest. So these are the ones, that is bisexual flower. That is so here you can see this is the stigma, and here is the stamen. So bisexual, both this ovary is present, and this is the disc. This disc is present on both male and also the hermaphrodite flower. I will show the real picture. So this is the bisexual flower. This is as indicated in the picture. This is stamen and the stigma. Here only one stamen is there and one stigma is there. So disc is present here, and here also the disc is present. This is the stamen, and so here are the some of the things. Here you can clearly see the anther here, and this is shriveled anther. So these are called as staminodes. In one hermaphrodite or bisexual flower, there will be one functional stamen and almost 3 to 4 staminodes. So staminodes are nothing but the non-functional stamen. So their anthers are.
Sir,
Yes.
excuse me, sir. Sir,
Yeah. Go on.
sir, your voice is overlapping. Nothing is audible.
It's not audible, huh?
Sir, voice is overlapping. Nothing is clear. Your voice is overlapping with your previous voice. So it's not audible. It's not clear.
I think someone has switched on. I think if anyone is unmute, please mute. Echoing, huh?
Yes, sir, echoing.
It is with this problem is with everybody.
I think someone has.
No, ma'am.
This problem is not with everybody, only with few, right?
Is,
Yes,
unmute,
ma'am.
please mute.
Okay, if it's perfect for a lot of people, maybe you will be having any problem. Just check your internet, just disconnect and again log in. Maybe she is having some problem. It is not with everybody. It is with this problem is with everybody.
I think someone has.
No, ma'am.
I think now it is also echoing. All the previous voices are coming to me also. So I think is it resolved, or now also it is echoing? Please everybody mute yourself, and again please check it, and please let me know if it is continuing. So I hope it is clear. I will be proceeding. So if there is any problem, please let me know. And if you're using microphones, I mean headphones, please disconnect and connect again. I think sometimes there will be problem for mic also. So anyway, moving forward. So I was talking about the bisexual flowers. This is the stamen, that is functional stamen, one functional stamen, and 4 to 5 non-functional stamens will be present, and those are called as staminodes. So here, this is the one of the fertilized bisexual flower. We all know that this is the disc, and here it is fertilized, uh, and the fruit, it is in the peanut stage, and the stigma is shriveled, and that means it will wither off after pollination. So here are this is the male flower. There is one, there will be one functional anther, I think here, and it is surrounded by non-functional staminodes. And we all know that inflorescence is a terminal panicle here. And coming to rootstocks, so rootstock is the one, we all know that it's the part that is in, it's the lower part, and the upper part is scion, that is, it holds the scion and gives support, and it has a root system. So many rootstocks are used for different purposes. So those purposes include dwarfing rootstock, polyembryonic, and salt tolerant. So dwarfing rootstock include creeping, oleo, romani, thodaparate small, amrapali, latra, and also 13-1. So, and there are many rootstocks are there, but you should be remember at least these things, which are all I mentioned here. These are the ones which are repeatedly asked. Whatever I will be giving, so don't think it's too bulky. So as based on the Jrf, SRF, and also net papers, I have included the things. So don't worry about if it sounds as bulky, but when you repeatedly going through these things, you will be infamiliar, and it will be stick in your minds. So polyembryonic, also dwarfing, creeping, olor, these things you should be remember these things. Polyembryonic, that's olor, bapakai, moondan, kurukkan, chandrakaran, velicolum, and velicolum is very important rootstock. They will ask the plody level of this thing. That is, it is allo octoploid, that is 8x, and also peach, starch, and also necare. So salt tolerant rootstocks are gomera1, kurukkan, moondan, and necare. So, and here are some of the rootstocks which are specific to some varieties. Those rootstocks are Romani, used for the sherry, Papakai for Neelam, and also Veliculum for Alfonso. And Olur is used as rootstock for Langra and Himsagar. So some of the introduced and polyembryonic rootstocks include, these are the ones which are introduced from the other countries, that is apricot, strawberry, and turpentine. So please make a note of these things, and also you should be remembering all these things. So please, not once or twice, you should be study for some time. Then when you see it repeatedly, and definitely it will you will remember these things. So not to worry, do not panic, and please study. So moving forward, same thing here, not for only for some few crops, that is mango, apple, and some of the crops are, these rootstocks are important, and varieties. There are, we all know that there are huge number of varieties for mango, banana, apple, and all those crops. So among the huge number of varieties, only a handful of the ones are essential. So since these crops have more number of varieties than any other things, so those handful of varieties means here also it will be little huge to the it will be relatively little huge compared to other crops. Hence there is no option, you have to remember or memorize some of the very important varieties. So in India, the most popular variety is Alfonso. That is also, I said, it's also called as king of mangoes. And early variety of North India, that is Bombay green. And early variety of South India is Banganapalli, that is also called as Banisha. Mid-season variety is Dashari and Langra. And late variety of North India is Chausa. And why I have put Neelam and Peri? So they are not confined only to North India, but it is grown all over. So when it is early variety of North India, it's Bombay green, and late variety of North India is Chausa. So here And also late variety of North India is sorry, and late variety of South India is Malgova. So you have to what group according to these things. So you know the varieties early and late, early, late, mid have come here. So you just note it down in the one place. And coming to other types like off-season variety, that is Niranjan and Madhulika. Regular bearer is Neelam. And also terminal plus lateral bearing variety is Totapuri. Whenever I think you people have seen the crop of that Totapuri and compared with other in your campus orchard or anything, it will be there. So whenever you see Totapuri with the remaining things, it flowers exhaustively. That is too much of flowers. That is because the flowers will bear in lateral and also in the terminal position. So hence Sitapur is dual bearing. So dual bearing variety, and also the biennial bearing variety is Langra. So biennial bearing, alternate bearing, I will deal it in the coming slides, and group these things. That is what are the bearing types. Now you should group like this: off season, regular bearer, terminal bearer, and also biennial bearer. And moving further, selection, that is Akshay from the Sheriff, it is also called as the Sheriff 56. Earlier, the number was the Sheriff 56, the accession number, and it was selected from the Sheriff. And Pusa Surya, it is selected from Eldon, and Aishwarya, it is selection from Alfonso, which is released by my HOD in the present university. And this is also selection from Alfonso, which is relatively free of spongy tissue. And the commercial variety of Andhra Pradesh include Banganapalli, that is also called as Banishan, and also commercial variety of Gujarat is Kesar, and good variety with good processing quality is Kesar because it has very good carotene content, and it has very much orange, comparatively very much orange fleshed pulp. So you can it is almost used for processing purpose, but its taste is not that much good as that not sweeter as Alfonso. Hence, it is blended with Alfonso pulp, and it is used as used in juice or pulp industries. So, and the sweetest variety include Chausa, and the apple-shaped variety is Rumani. I will show you the pictures. And the only mutant in the mango is Rosica, that is from Rosado de Ica, that is a Peruvian variety. So this is one of the important bit, that is one of the frequently asked question, which is the only mutant. Since it's only one mutant is there, you should be thorough with this Rosica. And also the fiberless species, that is Alfonso, Totapuri, and Pyri. Totapuri is completely almost free from fiber. That is here the South Indian people, here we eat it before when it is ripe, it is eaten. I will show the pictures. So please, varieties are important. So you just reading is not enough. I think it is better to group them. So when you group like this, it will you will be remember for a long time. And this is also a good criteria which I feel. If you are comfortable with this, so please follow these things. So here the early, late, and all regular season and the selections, and the commercial variety, processing variety, sweetest variety, apple shaped. And if you find anything, if you can remember any other things, it's very good. And moving to important hybrids. So this is from the IRA Pusa. It's Pusa Arunima, Pusa Pratibha, Pusa Shrestha, Pusa Larima, and also Pusa Pitambar. So there are crosses at least there are many hybrids in the coming list. I will provide those things also. But so at least for these things, that is 10 or 15 hybrids, the crosses are very much important. Please be familiar with the crosses also, that is parentage also. So IRA varieties Pusaranima, Pitambar, Shrestha, Lalima, and Pratibha. And coming to Mallika and Amrapali. So as I said, it was developed by Chima and Dani by caging technique. So Mallika parentage is Neelam into Dashari, and Amrapali is Dashari into Neelam. So why only as a caging technique? Why only Dashari and Neelam are selected for hybridization? So because it has got the synchronization of flowering. Whenever you have to cross two varieties or hybrids, as we know that mango is a perennial crop. So you have to wait for almost 4 to 5 or almost 10 years now before the budded ones and grafted ones will flower in 2 to 3 years only. But in the earlier times, the seedling cultivars will take almost 6 to 7 or 10 years to flower. So in that, if you put two varieties which is not in synchronization with flowering, then it's almost a waste of a decade. So hence, synchronized varieties are chosen, and one of the parents should be self-incompatible. So why it should be self-incompatible? Because it's andromonacy, male and hermaphrodite flowers are present, so it's very much tedious process. The flowers, you will be, I think you have experience. If you have experience, you should be, you are aware of that mango flowers are very much fragile. Even if with a gentle touch, the flower will be dropped. So it is better to have self-incompatible variety. That is, one of the varieties should be, if one of the variety is self-incompatible, then the pollen source from the other parent is mandatory for it to be what is fertilized and to get fruits. So in that, Dashari is one of the self-incompatible variety and Neelam is the regular bearer. So considering these things, the Neelam and Dashari are chosen, and the first two hybrids released were Mallika and Amrapali. And Sindhu is, why it is important. Sindhu, the cross is Ratna into Alfonso, because we all know that Sindhu is a seedless variety that is not completely seedless. It's almost seedless, and that stone is only accounts for only 3%. That is, if 100-gram fruit is there, only the 3 gram of the stone will be present, and pulp to stone ratio is almost 26:1. That is 26 parts is to into 1 part. So like that, Ratna, that is Neelam Alfonso. You can also use the code word. That is, I used to read like Ratna RNA, that Ratna Neelam into Alfonso. Since if please select the ones which you will be familiar with and also which is comfortable to you. So you cannot make code words for all the things. So at least for something, at least for some variety, you can use some of the short forms, and the parentage and hybrids can be remembered. Sorry. And also the Prabha Shankar. Why Prabha Shankar have to star mark? This is based on some literature. It is said that it is one of the first hybrids that is developed by Bombay into Kalpadi by FRS Vengurle. I'm not sure that I didn't come across any this thing in the textbook. Only in the multiple choice books they have given. But in the as for it's concerned with the exams also, it's asked as a Prabha Shankar, and also it's one of the first, maybe it's one of the first hybrids. And also coming to IHR varieties, it's Arka Anmol, Arka Punit, Arka Aruna, Arka Uday, and Arka Nilkiran. So again, I will be telling, please remember the parentage for at least these mentioned varieties. Okay. So this is one of the new mango hybrid developed from IHRs. It's Arka Superbag. It was developed in 2019. It's also called as hybrid 14. And the important features are, it's a double cross hybrid. That is, it is a hybrid of the two hybrids. So one is the female parent is the Amrapali and the male parent is Arka Anmol. So their parentage also given. So this is high yielding. All these characters need not to be essential for right now, at least for Jrf, but for at the SRF and net level, some of the important characters need to be known. So these are the ones. I think carotenoids, yeah, it is also mentioned 8.35 milligrams. So what is the vitamin A content in mango? We discussed earlier, that is 4,800 international units. Okay, and the shelf life is 8 to 10 days about room temperature. So you should be, I'll tell you, you should be updated. As I told earlier, you should be always updated with the things. You should visit the websites, IR, IHR, and also what are the other ICR website, institutes websites are there, no, NABARD and all. You should be regularly visiting those things, and you should be making note of them. And which is the new variety released in 2020, that is Jammu mango. It is also known as Selection 5. So this is developed by Sher Kashmir University of Agriculture and Technology, that is in Jammu, and it is suitable for closer spacing, that is maybe for HDP, but while looking at the picture, it may not be suitable for HDP, but they have given it's suitable for rainfed conditions of the subtropical region. And it is also a biennial bearer, and also start flowering third week of February. As I said, the flowering will be in South India, the flowering will be in December, and in the North India, almost January to February, the flowering will start and extend up to March. The total duration of the flowering is almost 2 weeks. That is 15 to 20 days, maximum 20-25 days. In that, that is the only flowering period. After that, the fruiting will start. And yeah, and please list what are all the important varieties, so that exam definitely we will be asking one or two at least, or one or two or three, maximum one, sorry, minimum one, maximum three varieties based on your luck. So at least for 3 years, you should be aware of all the varieties that are released since 2 or 3 years. Okay, I have made the list of all these varieties which are released only in the 2020. So that is Pusa Mehak in rose. It's a hybrid tea type, and Pusa Rakshit. It is a tomato hybrid that was actually DTPH60, and Pusa Shobha and Pusa Sona in onion. VL Sabzi Matar in garden pea, that is I discussed earlier. That's Jammu mango of mango, Sabor Makana one of Makana. So Bidan Supreme, Bidan Super, and Kazri Vishal. So sorry, Bidan Supreme and Bidan Super from Brinjal. And you should also be knowing from which research station or which research institute it has been released. That is in Pusa, you know that in IR in New Delhi or Akka in IHR Bangalore. So this Jammu mango, Sabor Makana, Bidan, almost the name will be there in the variety only, but you should be knowing the alma mater of the variety also. That is only for the recently released varieties. And Pusa green, Pusa batwa, Kashi batwa. Kashi, that means it's a prefix of Indian Institute of Vegetable Research, that is Varanasi. So these are the ones, the recently released varieties. Please make a note of all these things, and also please go through the magazines, or the Indian Horticulture is very good magazine. You can go through that magazine and search back the previous issues and note down all the important varieties of hybrids. If the character, if there is any specific or any contrasting character, it can be remembered. Otherwise, the name of the variety and the type or the institute, that is enough. Anymore? So please go through it and make a list, and if it is done, please share it in the group. So these are the ones, the hybrids from other research institutes of India. That's I covered all the varieties that are released. That is from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. That is these, no need to remember all these things. This is just for your information. So Manjira, Evrumani, it's and Nil Goa, Niludin, Nilashan, Swarna Jahangir from FRS Kodur, and BA Savor, that is in Bihar. All these varieties are released. And from Kerala and Tamil Nadu, PKM1, PKM2, okay. And from MPK Ravur, that is Sai Sukarta or Sugandha. And Central Institute of Central Subtropical Horticulture, that is CISH, so yeah, CISH Lucknow, Ambika Arunika, and all these things. So this is one of the important, that is varieties with GI tag. So Alfonso of Ratnagiri, these are also the ones which has been asked in the exam. That is in net exam, at least one question will be there with any of the varieties with GI tag and all. So Alfonso, it has got GI tag, and that is with reference to Maharashtra, that is Ratnagiri, and also in the Alfonso of Devagar, it is also got the GI tag. That is, it should be unique. Why GI tag is given? That is a variety or anything that is unique or special to only that specific place. So some those things are given the GI tags. And Kesar of Gir, that is Gujarat and also Marathwada, that region. So this Kesar variety also has a GI tag. And Bangalpalli of Andhra Pradesh, Zardal of Bagalpur, and Apimedia of Karnataka, Himsagar of Malda, that is in West Bengal, and Lakshman Bog Fazli. I think this is also in West Bengal, it seems. So since many of the varieties are having a GI tag, so please go through it, and also you can find the list in even in Wikipedia, and also in the GI, that is in the, what is that, IPR TRIPS, the Trade Related Intellectual Property in TRIPS website also it is available. Download it and also list all the varieties. So when the GI Act has come, so it has come in 1999. And where is the GI registry? That is headquarter. So it is in Chennai. So always remember, whatever you learn, you come across any new things, you should be aware of all the surrounding things also. So here many bits may appear. So varieties with GI tag, okay, GI Act and the GI registry, and also the varieties. So anything can be asked, since general agriculture is also part of the question paper. So these things can be come in exams. So please be thorough with all the things. So which is the variety? I think everybody will know it. So this is Alfonso. So this is the peculiar shape of Alfonso. So these are the ones, that is Neelam. This is the Sherry. So when it is crossed, which one will obtain? That is Malika. Malika is Neelam into the Sherry. So it has both the shape of the shell is dominated, but Neelam into the sherry. And this is Malgova. Sindhu, this is seedless variety. This is turpentine. Totapuri. I said no, Totapuri. So it is almost eaten as eaten, not ripen. Even in the image, not is even it is eaten as matured in the mature stage. Only I think this is the only one variety which even the outer pericarp, that is exocarp, is also eaten along with the fruit. Only will discard the stone. Here the stone is discarded, and this is almost zero fiber. I think. No, you can see no fibers are present. It's almost the flesh will be fully sturdy and firm. So this is Totapuri, and also Kesar. You can see the clear demarcation of the Kesar, how the pulp color is very much orange, relatively compared to any other varieties. And when I was in UG, we were doing the HL module of post harvest. We were using Kesar only for to blend. And Alfonso was we were preparing when we were preparing juice. Alfonso was giving very good taste, and if you prepare the juice with kesar, we have it had to be added with very much sugar. So if you blend the kesar pulp with any other Alfonso or any other variety, that will impart the color and it will be good for export or any other processing purpose. So this is Banganapalli, that is specific to Andhra Pradesh. So yeah, I was telling you this is Rumani, that is apple shaped variety. That is a pure, that means peculiar apple shaped variety. This is. So this is Arkaruna, the IHR varieties, Arkaruna, Arka Punit, Arka Nilkiran, and also Arka Udaya. This is Pusa Surya, that is selection from Eldon. So this is the hybrids of IRA, that is Pusa Lalima, Pusa Pitambar, Pusa Arunima, Pusa Shrest. Please remember the parentage of all these things. That is at least for the Pusa and Arka, and also what are the table I have given now. You should please remember those things. So this is Ratna, Sindhu, Suvarna, Konkan Ruchi, Konkan Raja, and also Konkan Samrat. This is Ambika Arunika. So planting. So coming to planting, the spacing employed is, we all know that it's 10 into 10 meter. And for 10 into 10 meter, this might not be a direct question, but nobody will ask spacing that. I think there may be, there is no chance of asking spacing, but there will be a plant population. There may be a question of plant population because those questions are asked. So that when it is 10 into 10, 100 plants can be accommodated in 1 hectare area. How it is calculated? So what is the formula for calculation of plant population? That is area by spacing. So what is the area? For 1 hectare, it is 10,000 square meter. And what is the spacing employed is 10 into 10. That is 10 meter into 10 meter. When you substitute these things, 100 will be the answer. So remembering the only spacing is not important, but you should remember all what is the plant population of the spacing employed is also very much essential. But because in exam when it is how many number of plants are accommodated in 1 hectare or 2 hectare of area, you should not waste time in putting the formula and calculating the things. So you have to be thorough with at least 4 or 5. That is 1 point. This is for HDP in banana. 2.5, 3 into 2. This is for Gava, HDP in Gava. 3 into 3, 6 into 6, or other whatever the important fruit crops spacing is there. No, you should be thorough with these things. So for HDP, that is Amrapali is used for planting in HDP. That accommodates 1,600 plants per hectare with a spacing of 2.5 to 2.5 meter. And the method employed is triangular method. So this is also important for 10 into 10. That is square method of planting is employed. And for Amrapali, exclusively triangular method is employed. I think you are aware of all these things. That is in the basic horticulture, you should be thoroughly aware of all these things. If not, if it is required, I will handle the class for that also, if the time permits. And for Dashahari, if spacing employed is 2.5 into 3 meter, and the plant population is almost 1,333 plants per hectare. So what is rejuvenation? That is a conversion of senile orchard. Senile means unproductive orchard into productive ones. So this is done for the orchards which are started to decline the yield. That is, the yield is declining for around 50 to 60-year-old orchards. The rejuvenation has been done. What they do is they will chop off they will cut the branches, the old branches, and the new ones are grafted with the new science. So in that the rejuvenation, when you please read the propagation for the complete picture of rejuvenation. what is rejuvenation, what is grafting, what is stop working, and what is the practice that is dehoning. All those things you should be definitely, the basics are very much essential. You should be aware of all those things. And CHH Lucknow has developed a rejuvenation technique for Dashari. So there is a protocol. You need not to be worried with the protocol. It is there, but you have just have to remember CHH Lucknow have developed the rejuvenation technique for Dashari. So why have put the star mark? CH is present in Lucknow. What are the other institutes present in Lucknow? That is CMAP, Central Institute of Medicinal Aromatic Plants, and also NBRA, National Botanical Research Institute. So whenever you employ or encounter such things, you should be aware with all the other things, okay, so surrounding those things. So flowering. So the flowering begins in the Konkan region, that is in the uh, west coast, that is Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala will be there. No, that is this region. The flowering begins in October, and in South India, generally the flowering starts in the December. It's almost in the mid of the December, and also in North India, the flowering starts from February. So almost in general, if we ask the what is the flowering period of mango, it is almost December to January. Don't worry, the option will be given as December to January. If it is asked specifically, means for Konkan region it is in October, and for South India it is December, and also for North India it is February. And effect of climate on flowering and fruiting. This may not be needed for at the level of Jrf, but for your information and for at net and ICR, what's that, SRF, you should be aware. And that means many of the questions, because I have encountered such questions. So if you little deeper of little much deeper of knowing the things is essential for the level of SRF and also for net. No, may not be for even SRF, but for net exam it is very much essential. So temperature below 16 degree required for the floral bud initiation. Because of that thing only, here in the Konkan region, more humidity will be there. So even though its temperature is low and the humidity will be there, and hence the it flowers in October, and it also will be a lack of stress, that is salt stress in the Konkan region. So it flowers early, and since very much cold is prevalent up to December in South India, 16 degree, this criteria is fulfilled in South India. So in the end of the December, it is the flower begins, and we all know that in the North India, comparatively to South India, there will be very much what is that, cold will be there, and that will prolong up to February. So only after passing through this phase, that means when the temperature is below 16 degree, flowering will not be appear, and only after completing this time period, the flowerings will appear. That means the floral bud initiation will take place. The dormant apical bud produces vegetative flush instead of inflorescence after trees are transferred to warm temperature. So, and a prolonged dry spell during rainy season induces off-season flowering in July, August. It is in the, as I said, no, in the July, August. It is common near the seashore because of the salt stress. So, when the temperature, the climate is coupled with the stress, usually when in the stress, there will be more number of flowering, because it is also a survival mechanism. When the plant is in stress, it will think that, oh, I have to succeed my generation, so it will flower, and it will the vegetative phase is reduced, and more importance is given to the reproductive phase, that is flowering phase. So optimum temperature required is 24 to 27 degree, and because it's a typical tropical crop. This also, that temperature required is a tropical temperature, and it's grown in a tropical area. So 24 to 27 is ideal, and can tolerate up to 47 degrees Celsius. That is, in the North Indian conditions is grown now. Usually the 47 generally 27 degree 47 degree will not be there for all the time. So only when it is peak, or at least for some time, it can tolerate. And the high temperature of fruit development, which has on maturity and improve the fruit quality and size. So the fruits are grown in high temperature, they will be having more taste, because TSS, the moisture content has been evaporated, and the more TSS accumulation will be there. Hence, there will be fruit size, quality, and the quality characters are good. And low temperature at frost and flowering, it is very much dangerous. We all know that it will lead to the flower drop, and also not setting of the fruit. And propagation, we all know that the grafting is very much cheap, rapid, and also easy method. And the enarching or approach grafting is commercially practiced, and in North India, and it's mainly done in North India, which accounts for, because it's commercial, because it accounts for almost 90 to 95% success rate. And also the veneer grafting is practiced in South India, it's almost of 76 to 84% success, and it is done during March to May. After March to May, it is planted in the June to July. That is before to the monsoon. The planting material has to be ready, and it should be planted in at the right time is monsoon, and the planting will be there. No, at the time the seedlings has to be ready. And epicotyl grafting, we all know that it's a stone graft. It's also called a stone grafting. It's prevalent in Konkan region, which almost accounts for about 70% success rate. And the rootstock used is the stone. The rootstock along with the stone is used, and almost a stone of 10 to 15 days old seedling is used for grafting. So you'll be knowing about the picture. So all these things are not may not the numbers may not require, but yeah, whatever I mentioned, it covers for all for net and also for SRF. So hence at the level of JRF, the enarching linear grafting and this is enough. But if you know the deeper on, if you know deeper, there is no loss. No, so please be well versed with all these things also. So this epicotyl grafting is done during June to September, and the best time is June to August. And also softwood grafting, it can be done throughout the year, and top working can be done, or this is also called as crown grafting. That is in February to March. That is only after passing the dormant phase, the top working has to be done. So this is one of the important point that is asked. That is MOP should not be applied to mango because MOP the chemical formula is KCl. That is it has chloride. No, this chloride will cause the scorching effect to the leaves. So instead of that, the sulfate of potash is applied. So remember, the MOP fertilizer should not be used for mango. Another important thing is alternate bearing, that is biennial or irregular bearing. Both, all these things are not the similar terms, but they are relatively similar, but they are different. So alternate bearing, 1 year after the other year, 1 year will be off year and 1 year will be on year. That is biennial bearing. In the 2 years, almost alternate and biennial bearing are very almost related, but irregular bearing means there will not be any specific number of years. That is, it may bear in this year, and it may take gap for 2 or 3 years or 4 years, and in the fifth year it may bear. And irregular bearing not only accounts for years, but in also in the different part of the plant. So some bunches have been bearing here now, and some of the bunches will not be bearing now. So those things are the one. This is very much one of the complex problem in mango. This off year, as I told, is the absence of fruits, and on year that is for fruiting season. In the on year, the fruiting season will happen. And the causes for these things is accumulation of gibberellin-like substances. That is gibberellins during off year. That is what is the GA? That is growth hormone GA. It causes the shoot elongation. So when the GA is continuously synthesizing in accumulation, continuously accumulating, instead of producing flowers, the shoots are produced and the bearing will not be there. So it is also a genetic character that is associated with the Anacardiaceae and also the Rosaceae family. That is in the apple family. So many of the perennial crops, not only in the mango, have this problem of alternate or biennial or irregular bearing. So in the basic horticulture, I think there is one chapter. Please be thorough with these things. So what is alternate bearing, what is biennial, and also what is irregular bearing. So how to control this thing? That is now you cannot completely control, but it's one of the possible control approaches. Application of paclobutrazole, that is cultar. So I think paclobutrazole now it has been banned because this will make the plant very much unproductive. For once or twice, if you apply, means the lifespan of the plant will be drastically reduced. So a plant that is capable of bearing fruits for 30 years may not be give good yield. That is, it may be die off, it may be weaken in the only for 10 to 15 years only. It will be weaken and bearing may stop. So hence now the paclobutrazole is not used, and the mechanism here is paclobutrazole is a gibberellin biases inhibitor. So what is the cause of alternate bearing? We know the accumulation of gibberellins. So if the gibberellin accumulation, when the paclobutrazole inhibit the biosynthesis of the gibberellins will not accumulate and the flowers will continue. So 500,000, 2,000 ppm for foliar and foliar spray, or in the application, or as a soil application, that is Actually, it was applied as the soil application only. That is 5 gram active ingredient per tree. So you should not, even if you use for 5 gram, it is very much dangerous. And beyond 5 grams, so hence by studying all those things, now it is almost stopped. Usage has been stopped. And what is the alternate for that? So here I mentioned tip pruning. So while harvesting only, so there will be accumulation of auxins and all the other what is hormonal imbalance will know, it will be occur. So it will occur. So the tip pruning, since it is based on the old growth, you cannot prune. So if you prune means, and again one season shoot will be should produce, and on that flowers should produce. So since when while it is harvesting, if you harvest the fruit along with the stalk of 4 to 5 centimeter, so that will almost uh, help in the stopping the accumulation of all these hormones, that is mainly gibberellins. So this is one of the possible control approach. That means when the trees are harvested with the stalks retained, they have shown less incidence of alternate bearing. So this is one of the good and also easiest approach compared to the applying of all these chemicals and all. So high level of oxygen also essential for flower initiation, and itafan is also used in for flowering, that is in the low-lying tropics. And smudging is one of the important process, that is inducing smoke, that is debris or leaf litter of the crop is used, and it has lit in the ground, and those smoke are that is fed to the plant, and it stimulates the flowering. So this is not practiced in India. In some of the parts, that is in Philippines, this practice have been done. And for control of fruit drops, NAA and 240. So these are all axins only. So at axins at very low concentration, it should be applied. So 25 to 50 ppm controls the fruit drop. And also fruit retention, that is cytokinin, that is CPPO at 10 ppm retains the fruit, it helps in the fruit retention. And you have to be very much aware of all the growth regulators also, the growth, what are the growth promoters, what are the growth inhibitors and their functions. So every time, whatever I tell, whatever anyone may tell, so that synchronization with you will be more only when you are firm with the basics. So you should, oh why, if at some okay, so simply reading like yeah, NA will control the fruit drop. So what is why it should why it should be done, why not gibberellin or any other growth regulator? Means NA is oxygen, which is here oxygen, that is essential for fruit initiation, also retention. So when the function is known, function of the hormone or function of anything is known, so then you will easily understand why the purpose of its usage and also other things. So basics is very much essential. I was telling, and I will be telling, I will keep on telling that you should be thorough with the basics. So you should be, even though if you studied, you should remember, you should recall all the things. While you were studying for crops, there is, if for only once or a while, you should be studying the basics. Okay. So post-flowering application of potassium, that is potassium, we all know that potassium is used for improving the fruit quality. Nitrogen for aesthetic growth, phosphorus, and also potassium for fruit retention. So when the potassium is used, fruit retention and size, weight, color. So these are all the quality parameters, no? Size, shape, colors, and also flavor, taste and flavor. So post flowering application of potassium lead to the high fruit retention and also good number of quality characters. So even in the banana, the potassium is applied. That is for bunch feeding technology. When I take the banana, I will tell that in detail. So coming to maturity indices, so these are some of the standard maturity indices for this crop. That is number of days taken from flowering to maturity. That is almost 120 to 150 days. So this may not be exactly 150 to 120 to 150 days, but for this will be almost near. That is based on the climatic conditions. Almost for 10 to 20 days, either this side or the side, the maturity will coincide. Almost 120 days means almost 3.5 to 4 months. So color development, this is from for flowering, in the initiation of flowering to fruit maturity. Okay. And color development of shoulders. You will be, if you imagine the fruit, the portion near the stalk end, no? So that is called as shoulders. So color development on the shoulders. And Tapka method. It is when the tree automatically falls when the fruit is automatically fallen from the tree. That is one or two ripe fruits. When it is fallen to the ground, then it is indication that fruits are mature and ready to be harvested. So change in fruit color, we all know that from green to yellow, golden yellow, the fruit color will impart based on the variety, and also the organoleptic characters, that is development of characteristic aroma and also flavor. So those are due to enzymatic breakdowns. That is when starch is converted into sugar, organic acids are degraded. So all those things. Then I take the post harvest. I will tell in detail of those things. And development of prominent beak. That is this is very much specific to the variety Pyri. If you look at that, you will be having very much prominent beak. That is the tip of the fruit. So specific gravity of fruit should be almost 1.01 to 1.02. This is also one of the, I think if you have solved the multiple choice questions, this is one of the repeatedly asked question. And harvesting by 4 to 5 centimeters stock intact. I said no, this is one of the tip pruning method, which helps in the retention of, that is, sorry, not retention, that is helps in the stopping the accumulation of gibberellin hormones and helps in the helps in product, being the trees that is productive. So, and hence another thing important point is the fruit harvest developed by KK with Apoli, that is Konkan Krishi Vidyapit, that is Nutan mango harvester. You need not to be worried about all the what is the mechanism. And if you're interested, you just go to website or go to the Google and you can see the image. But you remember the point. Nutan mango harvester, it is developed by KK with Apoli. And CSS Lucknow has also developed one of the harvester, that is improved mango harvester, which can harvest of almost 600 to 800 fruits per hour. And since it's a climacteric fruit, it should be harvested at the right time. So immature, mature, and also ripe. Three stages will be there. No, so climacteric fruit, this will ripe even after the harvesting. That is the climacteric peak. That is the evolution of ethylene will start when after the maturity and will be continuous and will be high throughout the ripening. So I'll take up in detail when I deal with the post-harvest classes. So since it's a climacteric fruit, harvesting at the so yeah, immature only, even if you are harvest ripe, okay, but for even if you harvest in the mature stage, that will be okay, and it will tend to ripen in the storage. And grading, coming to grading based on the weight. So there are different criteria for grading for different, even for different countries there are different specifications, but at this stage this is enough, that is based on the weight. So the grading is performed as 1 2 3 4 4 grades. So less than 250 gram, sorting of fruits in different quality groups is called grading, and Alfonso Totapuri in Dasari. So why all this, only these crops? Because these are the ones which are being exported in a large scale, no? So Alfonso Totapuri in Dasari. For only these crops, the grading has to be done, and grading is done. And for other crops, I think there is no need of grading. Even when you see in the market, almost you will find all the small fruit and also the medium and big sized fruits. So for export purpose only, so 3 to 4 grades are made, and that's how they are. What is that? They take up on the grading is there will be sieves. That is a plate which contains hole of about 8 centimeter diameter and with the holes of 7.5 and 7 centimeter diameter. And the fruits are passed, whichever the fruits easily pass through those sieves, no, they are grouped. So the fruits being with weight of less than 250 gram and 250 to 300 gram, 300 to 349, and also about 350 gram, 4 grades are made. And the percentage of fruits that might come from all this sorting is, so highest number is almost 52% are medium sized fruit only, that is 250 to 300 grams. So the pre-cooling temperature is 13 to 15 degrees Celsius, and also storage temperature is 13 degrees Celsius. So this is the very much important thing and one of the very much frequently asked question. What is the storage temperature of mango? So mango should not be stored below 13 degree because it will cause chilling injury. Not only mango, even the bananas are stored below 13 degrees Celsius only. So mango, banana, and also anthurium, they are stored below 16 degrees centigrade, sorry, 13 degrees centigrade, because when you store it in the lower temperature, the chilling injury will occur and the fruit will turn black. I mean, the surface of the fruit will turn black. And the post-harvest treatment, 500 ppm of carbendazole, that is Bavestin. If you treat with Bavestin for 5 minutes, it reduces the pH decay in Alfonso. That is, these things are essential for only for the varieties which are suitable, that is, which are undergoing the export. Because for export, there will be a slightly, you should undergo, you should prolong the storage period now. So it should not be spoiled before the reaching of the target country. So for that, post harvest treatment is done. And another important point, that is vapor heat treatment. It is done for fruit fly and also for stone weevil. And the temperature I employed is almost 43 degrees Celsius, 43 to 45. It may vary. So almost coming to end. I think 1 hour has okay, just only 5 to 10 minutes. So this is a physiological disorder. Some of the very important, because in these days the questions based on the physiological disorders are appearing more. So I will deal with this in some very in detail. I will deal some of the physiological disorders. It's mango malformation, very much serious in North Indian condition. We all know that. And varieties susceptible for malformation include Bombay Green, the Sherry, and also Langra. Please make a note of this. This is also, this question will be asking in the exams. That is Bombay Green, the Sherry, Langra. That is almost all North Indian varieties. They are susceptible to malformation. So there are two types. That is vegetative and also floral malformation. In vegetative malformation, what will happen? Large number of shoots, the shoots with develop with shorter shoots, and also with the shorter internodes are developed, and apical growth is inhibited, and their orientation is affected, and also the lateral buds are affected. The explanation may not be required. So just for your information, you just for an idea, you read this. And also coming same for floral malformation, that is the flowers, that is the panicles, there will be no development of flowers, that is suppression of the apical dominance and the shorted primary and secondary axis of the flowers, and also thickened patches of the panicle. I will show the image. So do not, both of them, since vegetative will not set fruit, so the floral malformation fruit, the malformation trees do not set fruit, and there will be in the tree, that is the malformed shoots will be there in tree for long time, and also they will die up. And the possible causes for these things are, might be no, I think, yeah, no, the exact cause is not yet known, but the possible causes include mites, viruses, and also fungi, and also it might be due to phytohormonal imbalance. And the control for the mango malformation, that is include the first or early bloom should be discarded. That means the early flowering should be, this is one of the mandatory thing. The Since we will not take up the early, that means when the plant is ready up to 4 years, the plant should not be, that means the cropping should not be taken. And for the early bloom, the flowers, the bloom flowers should be discarded, because there will be accumulation of some hormones, and there might be imbalance of hormonal things, and also this might be a host stage for mites, viruses, and also the fungi. So discarding those things might be essential. And also the deblossoming, that how you should discard the flowers, mean due to it help in deblossoming with 200 ppm of NAA. So I told you to remember the things. The dosage also very much in the fruit, to control the fruit drop. You will be using very much low quantity, that is 20 to 50 ppm. Here, that is also NAA. This is also NAA oxin. No? So if you use in the higher concentration, it will act as the same. When the same chemical used for retention of the flowering will be used here with the higher concentration to remove the flowering. So this is very much important. That is one of the when you read the essential, that is basics of all the hormones, you will be knowing what are the, because in the earlier auxins in the little concentration act as hormones, and also 2,4-D and all in the higher concentration, you know that 2,4-D is a weedicide. At 250 to 300 ppm, it is used as weedicide. So all the hormones, their functions, and functions at different doses, what are the synergistic and antagonistic effects, all these things you should be knowing thoroughly. So this is the ones which are vegetatively malformed shoot, and this is the ones which is which has got the floral malformation. And one of the very important and very important disorder is spongy tissue. As I said in the first slide, it was reported by Chima and Dani in 1932. It is an Alfonso variety, and the susceptible cultivar is mainly the Alfonso fruits are mainly susceptible. And along with Alfonso, there are some of the varieties which are susceptible are Jamadar, Olur, Gomankur, Velekulaman, Swarnareka, and also Fernade. So the healthy and affected fruits cannot be differentiated external. That means morphologically, when you look from the outside, both the fruits will be similar. So there will not be any much difference when you only it is when cut open. So the symptoms will be visible. So this will be visible only at the time of picking or after complete ripening of the fruit. So at this stage, nothing can be done, right? So so this pale yellow colored, you might be encountering these things also when you eat the fruit, ripened fruit from the market. You might encounter these things. So pale yellow colored, soft or spongy tissue, pulp with air pockets, and the taste will be very much acidic or sour taste. So when it leads to when it prolongs, the blackish and foul odor will come, and there will be the fruit will be unmarketable. It occurs between peel and stone of the fruit with maximum incidence towards the beak. So beak is the lower portion. No, here there will be maximum incidence. I will show you the picture. So here is a typical picture. Maximum incidence towards the beak and followed by middle part and less at the stalk end. So only at the lower portion of the end. However, it might be in all parts of the fruit. Only at the lower portion, the incidence will be very much. So some of the factors that is contributing for spongy tissue include size and specific gravity of the fruits. That is, large fruits are more susceptible, and the fruits with the specific gravity less than one, they are more susceptible. And also, so the geographical area. That is, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Gujarat, and AP accounts for only 41%, and some of the coastal regions not 41, not only 41%. Yeah, and the coastal regions actually have very much less incidence compared to the southern and western parts of the country. And sunlight and temperature also have a role. That is, if the fruit are exposed to more sunlight, that is, and temperature that is of about beyond the 40.5 degrees Celsius, there is a possible incidence of this disorder. And also conductive heat. This is one of the bit that is a multiple choice question that is asked. That is conductive. That is when the soil, that is the heat from the soil, when it is transferred to the fruit. That is when the soil, when the temperature is more, soil will heat up, and that heated soil will also emit the radiation, that is the solar radiation. And when the soil is heaten of about when it is about 55.8 degrees Celsius in April May, and when it emits, and when the fruits are exposed to those heat, there may be chances of developing spongy tissue. So what is the best and easiest method to control this thing? It is soil culture. It is mulching with grass. So when the mulching with grass is done, soil the temperature will be cooler, and this conductive heat can be prevented. So control of this spongy tissue. Hence, how can you control it? It occurs almost at the time of picking. No, so there will be only option is the planting varieties which are resistant to this disorder. That is Ratna, Sindhu, Pairi, Kesar, Dutpada, Neelam, and also Dashari. So when Alfonso is grafted on Todapuri, that is Bangalore variety. So the incidence has the lesser incidence has been shown, not completely free, but comparatively lesser incidence has been shown. And there is one recently developed IHR technology, that is Arka Sakanivaraka. So this is the liquid formulation that should be applied twice at the pre-harvesting stage, that is between 40 to 60% maturity, either by dipping the fruits directly when it is on the tree only. How it is done? You will take up this formulation in the jug, and the fruit dipping should be done, or it is sprayed on the fruits. That is at the rate of 100 to 200 ml per liter of water. Compared to other, that is spraying method. Moving further with the other disorders, that is black tip or necrosis of chimney disease. You might be, this is also one of the familiar pictures, that is in some fruits might be showing so the blackish spot of the tip of the fruits. So on here we know that it is due to the brick kiln. That is when the heat or yeah, from the brick kilns are with the vicinity of 2 kilometers is contacted with the orchard, there might be chance of black tip. So the direction and velocity of the wind also plays important role in increasing the disease incidence. And the Dashari is more susceptible, and Safeta is the least. The spray of 0.6% borax or soil application of borax and calcium. So here also the basics plays an important role. So what are the nutrients, micronutrients for flower and fruit? Well, that is important for fruit quality parameters, that is boron and calcium. No, so boron for pollination and retention of the fruit, and also calcium for the fruit, what is that, fruit outer layer, no, fruit growth, and also fruit preventing fruit cracking and all. So calcium is the important. So spraying of those things will relatively reduce the incidence of this disease, so disorder. And other minor disorders include internal necrosis or soft nose. And softness is one of the question that is asked. And appearance of dark green colored on the lower portion, lower half portion of the fruit. You might be encountering this also. The upper half portion of the fruit will be very much yellow, and the lower half portion will be almost green, or jumka, or clustering. This is common. The name itself indicates clustering. That means when the fruits are very much in small size and they appear in cluster, there will not be any marketable size of the fruit that is developed. So at the end, that is coming to major pest and diseases, there are some of the things that is biotic stress, that is powdery mildew, anthracnose, blossom blight, pink disease, stem and rot dieback, and also black mold, and also bacterial canker. Again, the starred ones are asked questions. So powdery mildew, Odium mangiferae, anthracnose, I think Colototrichum species will be the causal organism. Pink disease is Scottischum or Pellicularia salmonicola, and similarly like stem and rot. So only for the, please note down the important, only all diseases and pests are not enough. Only important ones are here: mango hopper, shoot borer, stem borer, and also fruit fly, bark eating caterpillar. And these mealybugs, thrips, and all, they, it will be common. And inflorescence and gall will be there on mango. So only remember scientific names of important things. Okay, sorry, important diseases. Now remembering everything is not essential. So this is about mango. I think I was audible throughout the session, and you have noted down the points. So if you have any doubts, please let me know. In the same way, you have to read all those things, all the crops.
Sir, please provide notes also.
Yeah, definitely I will provide notes. The thing is, if you directly rely on notes for from now only, it is not appropriate thing, I believe. But if you be attentive in the class and you just note down the points, and I'll definitely provide the notes. But I will be sending them after some time.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other things or any doubts or any clarifications?
Sir,
Please ask.
one of your slide you have shown all the methods of propagation, but
Okay.
if they ask commercial method of propagation, then what should be the answer?
Commercial method is enarching only. Enarching or approach grafting is there, no?
Yes,
So
sir.
why it is the commercial method? Because it accounts for almost 90 to 95% success.
Yes, sir.
So don't worry, the option will be given. And I think, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Propagation slide. Yeah, enarching or approach grafting, this is one of the commercial method because it's 90 to 95% success rate. You have to
Yes, sir.
choose this. And
Okay,
if they
sir.
have asked specifically for South India or specifically for North India, then you can choose veneer grafting or epicotyl grafting.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So any other queries? We can also post your questions in the WhatsApp group also. Hello? Uh, I'm not getting, I think Srishti is speaking. So if anyone, so I think Srishti, I'm not clear with your voice. It's lagging actually. I think your bandwidth is low. You are asking something about specific gravity, but I'm not getting the question correctly. So if anyone got this, I think, I don't know if only I am having this problem, or if anyone have understood the full question, please let me know. Or you can even post, I think you can message.
Sir, she is not audible.
Yeah, I think her bandwidth is low, it seems. Anyway, you can post the questions in the WhatsApp group also. I will be answering them. So I think she asked about how specific gravity is related to fruit maturity, it seems, no? So for that understanding, specific gravity, you should know how it is judged, how this method has been method will perform, no? So the fruits are dipped in the a tank of water. So when the fruits are completely immersed or completely yeah, completely drowned, so those fruits are immature fruits. And when the fruits start to float, no, so there will be matured fruits. And based on that, there will be one what is that instrument called hydrometer. So in that, the numerical quantification has been quantification is done, and based on that, the maturity is judged. Why the fruit float and why the fruit down means it is based on the development only. So if the fruits float means the size is developed, and also a good number of air packets and other the cells. That means simple is if you have to say simply means the cells are very much developed, and when the fruit are matured, so they will float, and the immature ones are they will be sinked. I think she is not there. However, I will convey this in the group. So if there are any more questions, please let me know, or else we'll wind up. So I will provide notes. So mean in that time, so please read the textbooks, whatever the books I have suggested earlier, and what is the basics are very much important. I will be repeatedly telling you should read the basic thing, that is basic horticulture, and also the textbooks. You will be thoroughly the things will clear actually, you will be thorough with the subject. So please read that the basics and also the mandatory books. Okay. So any more queries, please? Okay, shall we wind up the class?
Yes, sir.